Fox News for Complacent Wine Moms, also known as The View, had some opinions on the current Bernie Warren spat going on right now, so we're going to take a listen and rebuttal what they have to say.
They've got to get it together because when you read Hillary's book, she does say that all of the innuendo and all of the Bernie Sanders attacks really led the way and paved the way for Trump calling her crooked Hillary. So she thinks that Bernie's attacks really harmed her.
I don't see why.
All right, so I don't know who the fuck this is talking, and I don't give a shit. I don't care about who any of these people are, really. Joy Behart sometimes has an intelligent thought, and is on the better side than any of her colleagues, including Whoopi Goldberg. Hell, way including Whoopi Goldberg. But immediately, whoever the fuck this is talking, it says that she's quoting directly from Hillary Clinton's book. So immediately you're taken from a completely non-biased source here. Hillary Clinton, who is a vile piece of trash that nobody wanted to be president, including myself, and I voted for her because Bernie campaigned for her, endorsed her, and did more than 40 rallies in favor of her after the primary was over. This is something that if you just watch The View or any mainstream media, you wouldn't know, because they like to gloss over all of these facts to try and smear Bernie. But you hear this person saying that she's quoting directly from Hillary Clinton's book, where Hillary Clinton says Bernie's attacks against me, his innuendo or whatever the fuck it is, against me, paved the way for Donald Trump calling me crooked Hillary. In a primary, I would remind you, all of this being in a primary, what exactly was said that led up to someone calling me crooked? It's her record. It's her record that Bernie Sanders attacked in the primary. Her record, her history as a prosecutor and politician, all the way up to the Secretary of State. It's her record that Bernie he attacked my horrible record, my record that makes me look perhaps crooked. He attacked my record. Everything that I stood for my entire life has always been on the wrong side of history. And it makes me look crooked, so Trump called me crooked Hillary. Oh my God. Oh. How dare you attack me for my record? You know who doesn't have a crooked record? Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders has been on the right side of history his entire life, his entire political career. Everything that Bernie Sanders has ever done has been, or at least 99% of the things that Bernie Sanders has done or said, has been exactly on the right side of history, and leading up to him being the most consistent politician in the entire fucking country. And that is why we support him. That is why we support him. Before this, Joy Behart said something about him. We're gonna vote for him over Warren because he's a 70-year-old socialist who just had a heart attack. No, Joy Behart. I'm gonna vote for Bernie Sanders because he is the most consistent politician in the entire country. He has never had to change his stance because his stance has always been on the right side of history. His views 40, 50 years ago are what are norms in society today. That is why I'm going to vote for Bernie Sanders. Now back on with Joy Behart. She's going to say something that I actually don't disagree with. I don't disagree with entirely, but we'll get into it.
This is big news. So two people are in a room
because.
Well, wait, let me finish my thought, and then I'd love to hear what you have to say. But like, so people are in a room and they're talking, and one person says, "Gee, do you think a woman can win the race in this country?" And the other one goes, "I don't know about that." I mean, everybody has conversations like that. Why is this a big story?
So I don't entirely disagree with what Joy Behar is trying to say. Yeah, everyone does have conversations like this. I've had conversations like this. You've had conversations like this. Everyone has conversations like this. Her point is mostly accurate. The part that she's wrong about is that that's not what Bernie Sanders said. Bernie never said, "No, I don't think a woman can be president." When prompted by the question prompted by Hillary Clinton, "Oh, do you think a woman could win against Trump?" Do you actually believe the man who has video evidence going back 50 fucking years of him advocating for more women in positions of power? Go from mayorships or mayors to governors to senators to representatives to the presidency. Evidence. His record, evidence going all the way back 40, 50 years plus. Not plus, because he probably would have been 10 years old then, but 50 years. Do you really think that this man who has always been advocating for more women in places of government, in more positions of power, and women running for presidency, hell, his biggest endorsement, and of course I'm biased here because I love her, and I will follow her to hell and back. His biggest endorsement is AOC, a woman who beat the fourth most powerful Democrat in the House of Representatives. The biggest upset in political history to date. But no, again, I do not believe... I largely agree with what Joy Behar is saying. Everyone does have those kinds of conversations. And sometimes things are completely taken out of context, especially when the sources that CNN are citing admit that they were not inside the room. Especially when the sources that CNN are citing for this admit that it was 4 people that were not in the room, and they refused to put themselves on the record. They refused to put their name out there so that people know who it is who is saying it. Again, as I went over in my video, 4 people admit they were not inside the room. They did not hear this conversation at all. But they're claiming that Bernie Sanders said that a woman can't win the presidency, even though there's, again, video evidence, and, you know, his history throughout politics, his history throughout the Senate, his history, period, saying the complete opposite of that, and him advocating for more women in positions of power. He is a staunch advocate for AOC. He is a big supporter of Ilhan Omar. Ilhan Omar, again, who is the strongest woman in the entire fucking country with all the shit that that woman puts up with. The strongest woman in this entire country. Sorry, I love Ilhan, and I'm really fucking tired of the shit that she gets. Anyways. No, Bernie Sanders never said that a woman can't be president, because there's literal evidence going back 50 fucking years of him saying the complete opposite. But let's move on.
It's a big story because he hurt Hillary Clinton so much in the last election, and it's a big story because while he has a good reputation on Capitol Hill, he does as being a congenial senator.
Right.
I like how, fucking, who is this one talking? It's the dumb white Republican one. It's that one. It's, I don't even remember her fucking name because that's how insignificant she is. Anyways, sorry, I had to think for a moment. I said dumb white Republican one. The only thing that's descriptive there is Republican, because I think they're all white, except for Whoopi, who is Yeah, I'm not even gonna get into it. Anyways, I like how she admits that all of the, like, everything she said prior to, except for his record on Capitol Hill, it's all great. It's all good. He has a great record on Capitol Hill. So everything leading up to that she completely undercut herself with that point. But then, of course, she kept talking, unfortunately. So just, most people will just glance over that fact. But yeah, let's give that a listen one more time.
Because he hurt Hillary Clinton so much in the last election, and it's a big.
He hurt Hillary Clinton so much in the last election. I think most people seemed to have completely forgotten or completely overlooked the fact that they were running in a primary. So, oh my God, we're about to get into the fucking weeds here, aren't we? They're running in a primary. Do you know what a primary is? It's when two candidates running in the same party. Two candidates running in the same party, not in the same party, because Bernie Sanders is an independent, but the Democrats told him he has to run as a Democrat, and then they try and smear him for being an independent, even though they told him to run as a Democrat, and he obliged, even though he technically doesn't have to. But they were running in a primary. What happens in a primary when two candidates running in the same party are running for the same seat? You typically have to make your case for why you are better than your opponent. And that's what he did. That's what he did. He constantly attacked her record because it's horrible. He attacked her being on the wrong side of fucking history throughout her entire career, because that's not what you want in a president. He never did he ever refer to her as Crooked Hillary. All he did, which gave her that label by Trump, is remind people of her horrible record. Again, in a primary. So let's break down the narrative here that attacking your opponent in a primary apparently makes you a horrible person. So, whoever the eventual nominee will be, no matter who it is, and of course, I'm biased, I do hope it's Bernie Sanders, and I do believe it will be, so long as the DNC don't pull the same shit that they pulled in 2016. But no matter who the eventual nominee is, that means every single candidate, all 20, 50, 60, whatever candidates we've had in this election cycle, in this Democratic primary, every single one of them, after the primary is over, deserves to be labeled a disgusting piece of trash. They're all horrible. Look what you did. How dare you run against the eventual nominee? How dare you make your cases for over the eventual nominee? How dare you? How dare you? That I expect every single one of these people, fucking K-Hive lady, whatever the fuck her name is, what the fuck is her name? Kamala Harris, there you go. Kamala Harris, she's a disgusting now piece of trash. Yang is not going to be president. He's a disgusting piece of trash, and look what he did to the eventual nominee. Joe Biden, I don't believe he's going to be the nominee, and if he is, well, good luck with those 4 more years of Trump. Joe Biden is a disgusting piece of trash, and look what he did to the eventual nominee. Did I already say Yang? Anyways, Yang, again, he's a disgusting piece of trash, and look what he did to the eventual nominee. Cory Booker, he's a disgusting piece of trash, and look what he did to the eventual nominee. All of these people are now, with the logic of having a primary opponent, all of these people deserve to be burned at the fucking stake, just like Bernie Sanders has since 2016. because he ran against Hillary Clinton in a primary. Because he made his case to millions of voters to why he is a better pick than her. Her, whose campaign slogan is literally, "I'm with her." Just making everything all about herself. Why? Because Hillary Clinton is an entitled piece of shit with a horrible fucking record. But her name is Clinton. And the Clintons, oh, you can't stand against royalty. I mean, we don't have royalty or noble families or anything like that in America because, well, we overthrew a king. But let's ignore that, though. You can't smear the name of Clinton. Clinton. How dare you smear the name of Clinton? Sanders? Oh, where did Sanders come from? Oh, he's working class piece of trash from the Bronx or from Brooklyn? One of those? Puh, scoff. I am Hillary Clinton. I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I am royalty. How dare you run against me? It was a fucking primary. Let's get that through your fucking heads. Everyone who has ever smeared Bernie for running against Hillary Clinton in a primary, I would advise you to remember, your vote is not entitled to the establishment trash who believe that they are entitled to your vote. It's not. They are not entitled to your vote, so get that through your fucking skull. All right, let's move on.
Story because while he has a good reputation on Capitol Hill, he does as being a congenial senator with other senators. His supporters have a really bad reputation, meaning the Bernie bros. It's actually one of the few things that really connects liberal pundits and conservative female pundits together. Is there's just a level of misogyny. Look at Twitter, look at some of the accounts they do that is directed towards specifically women in politics and specifically women in political commentary. And I'm sure I will have my Twitter just lit up on fire because of this, but he has a problem with women, and he has for a long time. And I think if Elizabeth Warren has this in her back pocket, all's fair in politics, all's fair in love and war. And I think, look, I don't want another misogynist as president. No. Okay? I mean, I think we're all women in this country are sick of it, and I have always thought he has had a problem with women. And it's one of the...
Meghan McCain, right, that's her name, Meghan McCain. Meghan McCain. I believe that I believe that Bernie Sanders has a problem with women. I believe he has a problem with women. If you look through his history, oh wait, no, he has a good history on Capitol Hill. Shit, my bad. Fuck. I believe my feelings because someone has screamed at me on Twitter, even though literally everyone has screamed at me on Twitter. I believe that because someone who supports Bernie Sanders has screamed at me on Twitter, I believe he has a bad history with women. I mean, his record might not reflect that, or his past, or the multiple documented videos and interviews, etc., of him advocating for more women in power. All of those things might not reflect that he has a problem with women, so I may not have any evidence when I'm saying this, but because I've had my feelings hurt on the internet, I believe he has a problem with women. I mean, I'm not going to give you any evidence of this because I literally can't. But I feel like it. So if everyone would just clap, please, and ignore the fact of everything else I said completely contradicts everything that I'm saying now. Just ignore the part about him having a good record and always being on the right side of history and always advocating for more women in positions of power. I've been screamed at on Twitter, so I feel like he's He's always had a problem with women, right? Just ignore everything else I said, okay? Please? Meghan McCain is a fucking joke. And you know, some people might have a problem with this because, you know, even I like the videos of Joy Behar trashing Meghan McCain on that very show. But all these women are fucking jokes. All these women are fucking jokes. And this even goes back to my mother. I talk about politics with my mother too often, I guess. But my mother watches The View, so my mother is one of these complacent wine moms. Fox News complacent wine moms, also known as The View. Unfortunately, I wish that she wasn't, and I wish she would have like an actual more self-discovered or nuanced position on politics, but she's not going to. So fuck it. Just vote for Bernie Sanders, mother. Anyways. Yeah, my mother watches Fox News, and we talk about these women on The View or whatever. And I've seen way too many of these fucking clips, and I'm watching this. I'm not pulling this from like somebody else's videos or anything else. They're trying to smear the women of The View. No, I'm literally playing this from The View's YouTube channel. They uploaded this. They look like a bunch of jackasses, but they uploaded this because they believe it makes them look good. Because so long as people clap in the background and we talk over each other, people ignore the facts that we sometimes accidentally spew out of our face. Bernie Sanders does not have a problem with women. He has never had an issue with women. He has actually always had the complete opposite. His record on Capitol Hill, his record as a mayor, his record throughout history, and those like TV shows that he used to do all the way back, dating back to the 70s and to the 80s, all advocating for more women in power. He is endorsed by the most popular female politicians in the country, Ilhan Omar, who I love, AOC, who I also love, and Rashida Tlaib, who I also love. Yes, I'm biased here, of course. But of course, all of these, they're women, and yet they endorsed Bernie Sanders because he has the most consistent record. He has always been on the right side of history, and he has always advocated for them, women, being in power.